So we're working from home right from March 19th of 2020. So that's like the day that the lockdown was announced here in Pune or Maharashtra. And I'm in my living room right now. So I'm just going to turn the camera. So I hope, that's okay. So we put up our Christmas tree and that's my living room. And yeah, we've got my daughter doing her homework there. So that's basically for us. I mean, for me, that's the workspace here. Sometimes I use the room inside, and most times I'm here. And that's the case with all our employees. We've hired the last entire year from all across India, and it can be the smallest town in Chhattisgarh to again parts of Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. We've got employees in Delhi. And all of them have been hired, at least 30-40% of them have been hired during COVID itself. So, yeah. So I work for a company by the name Propeller.ai. We're a B2B SaaS product company. So we're building a platform that enables business leaders to do marketing analytics or any other form of business workflows that can be optimized. That's basically what we do. So there are 2 to 3 parts to the product. We handle data visualization. We do a little bit of building connectors so that data can be fetched from whatever formats they're lying in, whatever different servers they may be, and it's a serverless product, as well as we use a whole bunch of cloud tech stack to have built a serverless product. So that's one arm to our business. The other arm is consulting, where we work with UK and Europe-based companies to enable and basically speed up their analytics projects, be it in the form of data science, be it in the form of creating models, as well as deploying it using a bunch of data scientists and data engineers. So that's basically about us at Propeller.ai. Essentially, it's a journey, and so I'm just going to share some aspects of this journey and what really has helped us stick around, work, build a team, and so on and so forth. So starting with the fact that we've always believed that if there is a team that we need to build, the first and foremost thing is when we try and arrive at the kind of person that we want to onboard on our team, instead of looking at the tech, let's look at the kind of person that we want to bring on board, right? And that started even with me, like our CEO Abhijat. The way that he did the interview was not like, starting off with, what do you know about HR, right? It's about, what sort of a person are you? And let's go to the skills as a second point. So I think that's a format that we followed through and through, and try to understand, what's the kind of person that we want on our team first, before we go into the details. I think the second thing that really helps is, and this used to happen when we were in office, which then translated into online work, are these work habits. And one of the work habits that we really talk about a lot is what is called as a catch-up call in the morning and catch-up call in the evening. And some of these calls used to be very difficult at first. The teams took time. It was long conversations. Today, we have people who would come, who would give that one-line update. It is written on our productivity tool. It's updated, and everybody takes turns. So it's not a CTO's job to build the product. It is not the CEO's job to run the company. It's all of us. And that sort of a ownership is developed when we talk to our employees, and we've made it a point that, we're going to have 1 hour, maybe across 1 month, maybe across 2 months, where we're only going to do chit chatting, we're only going to just get food, and we're only going to just get our chai and whatever else snack that we want to have, and just talk about what's happening, pull each other's legs and stuff like that. So for me to arrive at that idea was to just listen to what people were saying. They just wanted to talk. They wanted to connect. So we built practices depending on what people wanted, and not necessarily what's in a book out there or what blogs were telling me. And I think that really made a lot of sense. It was simple and it was easy to implement. And even today, we have people who are excited about joining a catch-up call at 10:15 in the morning. They're already there on the call. So that gives us the feeling that, okay, people are connected and they like coming back and they like doing what they're doing. And it's not always very easy because a product is something that is feature rich. It definitely it pushes our engineers to think outside the box a lot. And so if we were to build a team that's energized to keep going when it gets really tough, we needed to make sure that they like what they do and they love the product. And analytics is something that connects with a lot of people who love numbers. So we make those stories, we make the product connect with the people who are working in that space. So I think the two things that people would like working at Propeller for, one would be the tech stack. They're really excited about cloud platforms. They really want to get into it. It's not often that you get hands-on experience because all these services are very expensive. You need to really be able to, you're experimenting, but you need to be really careful with those experiments. Otherwise, the company can really end up in a lot of, bear a lot of cost. And I think the second thing, very similar to what Murli said, we have a CTO who's like really young and extremely bright about technology. He himself is so curious about going and figuring out how solutions are. And he comes back and tells us things that most of our tech folks would never even have heard of. And this excites the entire team that, okay, if my CTO can do it, so can I. And that is, I think that's very aspiring. That's very, that's something that everybody wants to wake up in the morning to. And that keeps the team going. And never, I don't think there's a single feature request that's come to our team, which is, okay, let's get it done and it's over. We've learned the hard way that each of those requests that come from our sales team and different teams, they have to be researched. And that's one skill the team is learning, which probably their previous employers did not emphasize so much on. So here, our induction, our town halls all start with, okay, what are you reading? What are you studying? And so the outcome is there in the kind of code you write, in the type of features you deploy. So I think these are things, they are seeing the connect between all these habits. I think apart from all the reasons, I think I correlate with all the reasons. The other main reason that stands out is lack of ability to change the skill. I'll give you some specifics. Somebody who worked on React but was good on Angular but couldn't think in that framework for an analytics product, but could think about it like in another context, right? And analytics is a space where you have to imagine the marketing user sitting there struggling with data, trying to make sense out of it. And only then as an engineer are you able to try and think of, okay, how do I solve this problem? It isn't about a filter. It isn't about creating a granular level data. It's really about how they need to see that data. So we've had people who've not been able to think that far. And yes, when it's a feature-rich product, we are talking about, it being it having issues with latency, and that needs to be resolved. It needs to be more scalable, more stable. And yeah, some of those challenges have bothered our engineers. And we know, one of the things that we talk to our employees quite often in the product team is that, stick to the plan. And when you stick to the plan, then you get to the end. But sometimes it's easier to give up and look outside and find something that's more suitable to that individual. So then in that case, we've parted ways on a good note. So as at Propeller, we are bootstrapped. We did, 5 years ago, raise funds, And at a given point of time, which is right now, we have decided not to go raise funds and burn the cash, because we believe in building the product and the product being the value that we take to the market. So we compare ourselves to many organizations that are able to kind of, like they raise the funds and then the salaries go up and so on and so forth. And that's something that we're not. We believe in being conservative. We believe in using the resources. Our compensation philosophy is, yes, we do pay well, but we're not at the top percentile, or even we're not close to the 90th percentile. However, one of the things that you will get is to work on the latest tech stack, be it cloud, be it language, be it tools, technology, and you get the closeness to working with the CTO, to the client, and these are real business decision makers that you're getting to work with. So in our compensation philosophy, we believe that if the candidate has the skill to create 10x from what he is earning today, then that's somebody that we definitely want to bring on board. And we've seen that happen. Now, when I say 10x, I'm not necessarily saying, okay, 10x business only. So somebody in our product engineering team is bringing in stability to the product, and that is generating value for us. So this is what we're talking about. So Propeller is definitely about analytics. There's no easy way of saying it. So if you're somebody who loves numbers, you want to make sense out of those numbers to people who are using that, make businesses more effective, more impactful, want to bring out and generate every value for every dollar that is invested, then yes, come be a part of us. What we're definitely not another tech company. So it's not about just taking some bunch of tech and putting it all together and writing a bunch of code. We want good, scalable coding skills. We want to build for the future. We want a stable product. So if you're somebody who can think about the future, who can think about what businesses could probably be facing with numbers in the future, definitely a place for you. We're a hustling company and we're a bunch of hustlers. So if you're ready and if you can, it doesn't matter where you're based out of, small town, big town, tier 3 city, tier 1 city, doesn't matter. We will definitely be able to connect. And if technology is something that you lust after, then yes, we're the place to be.